Gadsby's Tavern is comprised of two buildings, the 1785 Tavern and the 1792 City Tavern and Hotel. Both were built by John Wise, local businessman, and the room we're standing in here is the tap room of the 1785 Tavern. The tap room is a special place because this is where conversation occurred. This is where eating and dining occurred. Travelers would come in, residents would come in and talk about the state of the country in 1785. And at this time we were under the Articles of Confederation and the conversations were starting about the Constitution. So you can just imagine how boisterous things were in here with rum punch and tobacco smoke and heated conversations about the direction of our country. At Gadsby's, it's a great way to really look at the evolution of hospitality and how conversations occurred in America. You can see between the two buildings how travel changed from this space, which was a little more rough than next door, which was a lot finer. And you know, the same conversations these gentlemen and ladies were having in the 18th century, we still are in a way having today. We all have different opinions of how the country should move and develop and change, and it's a nice way to connect yesterday to today, where we're all in the same boat together, just happened to be 200 years ago. So this is the ballroom of the 1792 City Tavern, and this room is where George Washington had his birthnight ball celebrations in 1798 and 1799, and this is the room where Thomas Jefferson had his inaugural banquet in 1801. So you can just imagine the fun and entertainment that happened in this room, and I really wish these walls could just tell us a couple stories or two from those fine evenings. This room was built for dancing, and the types of dancing they would have here is English country dancing, where there were long sets similar to today's square dancing in a way. And you would curtsy, provide your courtesies to your guests, the woman and the man. The balls were started by a minuet, and most likely that would have been George and Martha at the first minuet of their birthnight ball. During an inaugural banquet type setting, you'd have multiple courses that the tavern keeper would provide, and then at the end of the evening it ends with toasts. And you can just imagine the president toasting the fine city of Alexandria, the mayor toasting the president. And after 4 courses, and I'm sure lots of glasses of Madeira, the toasts were full and flowing, and that's often how you would see it in the 18th century. So we know from newspaper accounts from Jefferson's inaugural banquet, there were a number of toasts that were spread that night. So this is the dormer of the 1785 building. These are the sleeping rooms here in the tavern. And unlike today where you have your own room, your own bathroom, things were very different 200 years ago. This room would sleep 5 to 7 men, so you were really getting a space in the room, not necessarily your own room. So if you were the first gentleman from the tap room and you were very tired from your travels, you'd probably want to pick the bed. But if you were the last guy enjoying your rum punch downstairs and then you make it up here at midnight, most likely you'll be sleeping on the floor because, again, you're renting space in the room, not necessarily a fabulous bed. This is the assembly room of the 1785 Tavern. This was the largest room in Alexandria when the tavern was built. This was the entertainment space, so you would come here for musical concerts, to see learned animals, acrobats. A wide variety of things occurred in this room where residents and travelers would come see. We also had itinerant merchants set up little mini shops here in the assembly room to sell their wares, and this was a very active community gathering space here at the tavern. Mr. Gadsby leased the City Tavern from John Wise in 1796, and at this time Alexandria was right next to the District of Columbia, and they were just starting to build all of the pieces of the federal city. So Alexandria was really the bustling town that helped funnel people, travelers, and products to the federal city. So because of that connection, John Gadsby really took advantage of all of those opportunities. And as travelers came to the district, he saw the need of what was required for finer hospitality here. He hired a laundress, that would clean travelers' clothes. He sold ice from his commercial ice well. He really was the Donald Trump of his day because he diversified his business and really saw hospitality and fine dining and all the different aspects of travel in a new way.